Lunch.
I can't hear anything. Is that normal?
This episode of the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast will be called Nap.
Good spit. What are they explaining?
How are you on your headphones? You good?
Oh, so good. Apparently you have to turn these on.
Oh.
I like Beats by Dre because I feel cool, but also don't like them because I have to charge them.
Hey, thank you, by the way, for our sponsorship this month. Not the
Boys
week.
headphones.
Not the week. Boys. Hey, Jens.
Gen Z.
Guess what we're talking about today? What's up, guys?
Hi, my name is Tyler, and welcome to B98.5. My co-host in this magic carpet ride is...
We've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty program.
So hard right now. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything
Don't
podcast.
run from our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
What's that from?
Yeah, I don't know. TikTok. I don't know.
Okay.
Hey,
well, it all starts on TikTok.
Seriously, we are really glad you guys are here. We are going to explain something. We will tell you why it is important to you and everything that you need to know and everything that we know about it. Also, we're going to do a little segment called 3v3, and then we're going to finish up with Will It Rock?
Will it rock? Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Eyebrow.
Ding, ding.
Fanny pack. Okay.
We still didn't tell them what it is.
What are we talking about today? You know what we're talking about? Before we get into that, we're going to give you a hint about what we're talking about by having another 3-Wing 2 do our intro.
Oh.
That's right. Joseph Tilley, take us there.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast. Now officially your 4th favorite podcast. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you go to patreon.com/explain everything to get exclusive episodes. Looks like we made it.
We said wing. Immediately thought of a crow.
The Crow with Jason Lee. Is it Jason Lee? No, that's not Jason. Jason Lee's from Dogma.
Brandon
Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Lee's son.
Yep.
Not as good of a fighter,
Well,
especially when he gets shot at the thing.
Oh, gosh.
Remember, it was the first scene for The Crow. He got shot.
Well, it wasn't the first scene, but it was a scene.
That's what I said.
It was his last scene.
Oh, gosh. Neil, why you got to bring the mood down?
Hey, guys, we're talking about Enneagrams today. And I am thrilled that you are here. We
So
are going
hyped.
to learn something today.
We're going to learn something today. We're going to talk about Enneagrams. What is the Enneagram? Why does it matter? How is it important to you?
Hey, white women, we're talking about Enneagrams today.
We're talking about Enneagrams. Get your Facebook post ready and get those graphics that are not that great.
Oh my gosh.
Ready to post. Talking about me as an 8. Be strong. Okay, so here we go. We're talking about the 9 interconnected personality types.
They're 9. There's 9 of them.
Tropes.
There's 9 different
9
Enneagrams.
interconnected personality types.
This is everything you need to know.
It's originally called the Enneagram of personality types. The Enneagram is the symbol, looks like a star kind of situation, and it's got a linking of 9 personality types, and it is supposed to be, it's like a mix between like
Voodoo
that you do and doo-doo that who do.
at Trader Joe's.
And Trader Joe's. It's like voodoo at Trader Joe's. No, it's similar. It's like, Tyler, words. If you're looking at a scale of, like, on one side of the scale, you have like what are they called? Not disc, but what's the one with the IMGT or TJ or
Myers-Briggs?
Myers-Briggs
That's
is on
it.
one end.
Yep.
And then you've got like horoscopes on the other.
Yeah.
This is a hard middle. And actually, honestly, I say that like I'm derogatory. I like the Enneagram.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's just that's kind of what's joked around about it, because there are people who are like, "Oh my gosh, that's witchcraft. That's straight up voodoo."
No.
How could you're
This is not some restaurant in Bourbon Street. This is as valid as the next guy. So what we want to talk about is, where did it come from? How long has it been around? You know what? The origins are not nailed down. There's people that'll say, look, this originated from this or that. Some people think it originated through like Christianity. Some people think it, for real. Somebody said that once. Ian Morgan Cash.
I thought it was Tony Sasher is the guy who came
Tony
up with
Sasher. Yes, he was in the Rat Pack. He did the Creole. It started in the 1900s as a model for the human psyche. I read that on Wikipedia, so it has to be true. Here's why. If I'm being real, Neil, this is being real, Neil. That's what they called you.
Oh my, yeah.
Whenever
Real, Neil.
I talk about Enneagrams, like why should I even care about it? Why should I ever look into it? Why should I know what it is? It is a great way to understand what drives you, where you are healthy, where you're unhealthy. I think it is a fantastic indicator for you, and also how to lead people. And, honestly, even I've used it in my marriage. Amanda and I, we had a marriage podcast. We did even less episodes than we've done. And we did one on Enneagrams, and we talk about how it has helped. Honestly, I mean, it's not like we were on the brink of starvation in our marriage, but it just helps. Like,
it does
she
help.
understands what frustrates me. I understand what frustrates her. And we understand kind of like, like what used to be like foreign, like why in the world would you do that?
Yeah.
It's like, you do that because this is your thought process when you're doing stuff.
Yeah, it's like so self-awareness, understanding yourself, but then also how you work with and interact with other people. What sets you off? What helps you to work with somebody else? So if you're talking about like even personal values, self-awareness is extremely high.
So high.
So high right now.
We fly high. No lie.
Even insulin ain't going to bring you back down.
That's right.
If you don't understand what that means, you can go back to one of our previous episodes.
Explaining diabetes.
Explaining diabetes.
What if our show is only, this is a flashback episode. Do you remember when we first met?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That means we gave up on this episode.
That means we're saving money.
So there are 9 different Enneagrams. Odds are you are one of them. Can they be one of these plus a wing?
Yes. Okay.
Does
So let's
everybody have
explain
a
that.
wing?
We're going to read through all 9 Enneagrams, but before you do that, I want to talk about what wings are. Wings are like, and I didn't understand this when somebody first told me. I was like, well, I'm kind of a 3, but I also got some 8 qualities. So I'm a 3-wing 8. They're like, you can't be a wing.
Can't do that.
That is not connected. So what
Nice
a wing
try.
means that like I am, I'm a 4, but my 3 is really close to my 4. Therefore, that's your wing.
Right,
Okay. So, but they can only be a wing if it's like connected. So like think of birds. If your main number is the middle of the bird, the torso of the birdie, the wings are connected to it. So it has to be next to it. So that's what we got. And you're going to be like, well, I'm a 1, but I'm also a 6.
No.
Guess what? You said no. Yes,
No,
you
you're
can.
not allowed to.
You're not allowed. You have to pick one, and that's who
allowed.
you are. That's you at your core. Hey, Tammy. All right. So I just love the name Tammy. I use that whenever I do professional development. So I'm going to read through them and talk a little bit about them and what they are. So they're 1 through 9. And number 1, it's called the perfectionist. It's called the reformer. It is I'm going to give you like the little rundown. It's a rational, idealistic type. They're very principled. They're very purposed. They're very self-controlled. They are perfectionists. This is the person where you're like, hey, can we meet? Can we meet soon? They're like, yes, give me 3 weeks. And then I'll have 2 times in my calendar before we meet to prep for it. Give me this, this, and this. I'm going to come into this with a plan and studied up.
Yep.
That is a 1.
Yeah. If you want to throw a 1 off, mess with their calendar.
Yes.
That will do it.
Or just call a
easily.
meeting like that day or change plans that they've had on the calendar for a while.
This is not the plan.
That will mess them up.
Number 2.
The helper. Number 2 is the helper.
Aw.
Yeah, I work in education, so a lot of teachers that I work with are helpers. They're twos.
Oh, wow. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's their teaching.
Because you said it.
They're caring, interpersonal, demonstrative, generous, people pleasers, and their worst, they can be possessive. Now, there are positives and negatives. You think of like, if we say that you're caring, that's good. It's positive. We have positive feelings. If we're say we're a people pleaser or you're possessive, that's negative. So there's healthy ends of the spectrum and unhealthy ends of the spectrum. My mom, she's a helper, like to her core. Like she feels the most like drive and purpose whenever she is like helping someone who needs her help. Like that's her.
That fulfills her.
That's like if somebody's like, I don't have enough money for a prom dress. She could be some random kid at the school, and she's a teacher, by the way. What do you know? And she'll go like, I'll buy you a prom dress, sweetie. Don't worry about it. That's the kind of stuff she does.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we don't talk to her anymore. I'm just kidding. She's great. I love my mom.
She's great.
Okay, so a 3. This is what's called the achiever. So we've got number 1 is perfectionist, 2 is the helper, 3 is the achiever. They're very success-oriented, pragmatic types, adaptive, excel-driven, hardworking, diligent working. No, I'm just kidding. That's true. I'm not sure. And they can be image conscious. It can be about them, very self-conscious about stuff like that. Their image, how they're perceived. Ugh, 3s are the worst. But also,
3s are awful.
if we're taking
Awfully
a vote,
great.
what are you? You're a 3.
I'm a 3.
Yeah.
I'm a 3-wing 2. So the way these categorize is number 1, 2, and 3 are all connected. So those 3 work. They're kind of like in the same. It's like the same sport. They're so you could
synergy.
You could be like a 2 with a 1 wing or a 3 wing, but you're not going to be a 2 whatever. So those three go together. Think of those in categories: that reformer, helper, and achiever. And then the next three also go together as well.
That's so hot, man. The way you explain that. That's great. Just so we're clear up front, so you're not like, well, I wonder what they like. We are both 3-wing 2s. And so is Joseph Tilley, who did our intro music.
Hey.
Back to Joseph, hit it again. I'm just kidding. Intro, outro only, Tyler. So we're both 3-wing 2s. Number 4, that is the individualist. Also can be called the artist. They're sensitive, withdrawn, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed at times, and temperamental. A lot of times, if you like do research on this, they'll say, well, there's less people. What's the like rarest of all the Enneagrams? What is the Where's Waldo of Enneagrams? That's how people talk when they ask questions on the internet. Ask Jeeves.
Wow.
Sorry.
Go fetch.
A lot just happened. The artist, the individuals, 4, they say that is the rarest of them, but also they're introverts and they're not going to be like, hey, here's my Enneagram. They'll just like take the test and then disappear into the shadows.
They're more rare because no one will talk about it.
Exactly.
You have to go find out.
Eggs over easy. Okay, so we got a number 5. That is the investigator. They're pretty intense. They cerebral types, if you will, perceptive, innovative, secretive, and isolated. So they've got, if you'll notice, this is kind of following a pattern, like it's staying close in similarity as it rolls up.
Yep.
Achievers like to, we like to do stuff. Helpers like to do stuff for others. And then it starts rolling into 4s and 5s. It's more like, I like to kind of be withdrawn. I'm more of an introvert. I like to kind of stay to myself. So, yes.
Yes. No, I was going to say you're right. These all kind of like a theme. They follow a little bit of a pattern.
Yes. And 6 is called the loyalist. They're committed, security-oriented types, engaging, responsible, anxious, and suspicious. Those are like, again, positive and negative ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
There are a lot of 6s out there. There's a lot of people that, like the safety and security. They keep the same job as long as they can. They don't like to jump out. They don't like change.
Right.
They like to be comfortable with what's going on. They like to know what to expect for, this week, this month, this year.
If this was a disc profile, this is your S personality type, which is 69% of the population is in that S personality. But this one is where they do like safety and they think of what could potentially happen wrong. And then I want to have a backup plan for that. They also like to know ahead of time that there is a safe, steady plan of action that they're not like spontaneous necessarily.
Absolutely. And then next one, number 7, that is the enthusiast. This is your hype man, if you will, or hype woman, if you will. They're busy, they're fun-loving, spontaneous, versatile, distractible, and scattered. Again, positive, negatives. I keep reminding so it doesn't sound like super negative. Whenever you have somebody that's an enthusiast, that is... they're your MCs. They're your people who get everybody excited. They're running the games. If you're meeting at a group or you have an event, they're the ones that are like, everybody get up. We're going to do an icebreaker. They're
everybody take your shoes off and throw them up here in a pile.
Oh,
Not
gosh.
me.
That's my worst nightmare.
Nope, I don't like it.
That is I was at a youth group one time. I was visiting a church and they were like, we're going to take your shoes off and I'm going to wash your feet. I'm like, no, you're not.
No.
I was 8th grade. I was like, pass, hard pass. We never come back here.
Yep, don't do it.
Yep. And that person grew up to be Martha Stewart. Next, number 8, that's the challenger. Challengers are this 8 challenger. They are powerful, dominating, self-confident, decisive, but they can also be confrontational. The 8 gets a bad rap for being the mean one.
Oh man,
they get that because they know what they want, and honestly, they view conflict as connection.
Yeah.
So whenever you get if you ever been in a fight with somebody, or you get an argument or disagreement, and you're
they
yelling
enjoy
at each
it.
other, and then after it's over, they're like, they act like nothing's wrong, and it takes you a week to want to talk to them again.
Right.
That's an 8 probably. They're challengers.
They do not see it as conflict. That's just, hey, we're just communicating.
This is how I communicate. This is what we do to connect with you.
This is my truth.
This is my truth now. Sorry, I love that joke. Can we change the name of this podcast to My Truth?
My Truth.
With Neil and Tyler.
My Truth Tyler, that's what they call him.
My Truth Wow. It's better than My Tooth Tyler. That rest finally grew in. Took 25 years. 9, the last one. This one is called the Peacemaker. They're very easygoing, self-effacing, receptive, reassuring, but agreeable. Also can be complacent. This is a person, the 9 takes on the personality of a lot of the other Enneagrams.
It's soy.
Yeah, it takes on the flavor of what's around it. Wow, so good. Yeah. I love that analogy.
You
make
like
the
soy?
Best analogies. Oh, I like soy. I like soy when you squeeze it and make milk. Yep.
Ew.
Pour it down my ear.
Wow. But don't wash my feet though.
Don't wash
That's
my
gross.
feet. Trash.
So those are the 9, and then you could also be a wing. So you can have the characteristics of one of those, but then you have a little bit of you can lean to one side of your number or the other.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought we were on ramping. You went, and I want to get, meow. Yeah. So with Enneagrams, they can be used to learn about yourself. You talked a lot about not a lot. You just mentioned it in one sentence. How self-awareness is valuable to you.
Yes.
I think it's one of the most underrated qualities in people. People that are self-aware are willing to recognize who they are, how they're coming off, and then they're receptive to getting better. And I think that is huge. Now, granted, us wanting to be self-aware falls in line with us being threes.
Yeah.
We want achievers. We want to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
The only way to do that is to evaluate and look at yourself and step out and be like, you know what,
It's the
I'm
best
kind
way
of
to do
being
it. It's
a
not
jerk.
just the only way to do it.
It's the best way because
somebody the other day was arguing about how that they're not argumentative. And I was like, self-awareness may not be that high here.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, legitimately arguing about how, no, I'm not aggressive. I don't always come back with a whatever and this. I was like, wow, okay.
It's like bragging about being humble. It's like that kind of
Humble
situation. Humble brag. That's not how it's said.
So who are some examples of
some of these
like
Enneagram numbers? Okay, so let's look at ones, famous ones. Al Gore is a one. That might be like one of the things whenever SNL, which we talk about, pitch, explain everything, SNL.
Yep.
Some would say we talked about it twice. Once we talk about it as Saturday Night Live, and the other time we talk about it as SNL. Two completely different things.
Very different.
We talk about one when it was on ABC and one was on NBC.
Some non-lefties or what?
Some non-lefties. So whenever you like Colin Powell, is it Colin or Colin Powell? Colin is in your body. Colin Powell. I have a Colin Powell rookie card, just so you know.
I believe it's actually pronounced Colin.
Colin Powell. I have a Colin Powell rookie card. It's a Desert Storm rookie card. Yeah, I don't like to brag about it, but
wow.
Yeah, man.
Does he know that exists?
I've texted him multiple times. 1-800, call me Colin. Maybe they keep wanting to set up an appointment. Maybe it's the wrong Colin.
It may be they want to see me in person and talk about it.
So Meryl Streep, a bunch of presidents, Harry Truman, almost presidents, Colin Powell. You've got who else? You got almost president Al Gore. A lot of almost presidents, apparently.
Yeah, there are a lot of politicians or people in public service in this category.
Absolutely.
With the exception of
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton's in here. She was almost president. Confucius, he say.
Confucius, he say.
Confucius say.
All right, what about twos? Remember, twos are your helpers. These are like people pleasing, crowd pleasing.
These are really good right-hand man, right-hand woman.
Okay. And if you need a prom dress, these are the people you want to go to get one bought for you.
So on this list that we found, Jesus is on the list.
Wow.
Apparently if you preach serving others, you are viewed as a helper, which is great. Like I said, most teachers are twos. They call him a teacher. Courtney Cox, previously Courtney Cox Arquette, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
For a hot minute. Courtney Cox is one. Melanie Griffith.
Whitney Houston.
How
about that?
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Yoko Ono.
Mother Teresa was a helper.
Goodness. I can see that.
Go figure.
You know what? I've seen some people say that she was an 8. I don't know if it's true or not. But this survey we looked at, they say no.
No, they say
nay.
Nope.
She's a 2.
Nope.
Okay.
Threes.
Okay, so threes are the best, obviously, because we are threes. But threes are ones you're going to hear, like the ones where like almost president, and this person, I mean, most of us have probably heard of Jesus. I'm saying it's pretty.
Thank you.
Is it me, Jesus? My favorite TikTok.
Me.
I did that one time. I was teaching a room of teachers some stuff, and I guess we started talking about TikTok or something, and I talked about that TikTok, and everybody in the room laughed when I did the punchline, except for one lady. She sat there and stared at me.
She didn't like that.
She was not a fan.
No.
I don't know if it was of me or of Jesus or Judas. Maybe she's a Judas fan.
Oh,
she's reading. It's like
they're rare.
It's like the Broadway play Wicked. It's like, we're gonna see it from
a different point of view.
Judas.
So there's a lot of big
threes
name
you've heard
threes.
of.
Yeah, there's especially yes.
Muhammad Ali, Lance Armstrong, Michael Jordan, Carl Lewis. I'm only naming athletes. O.J. Simpson. He wasn't just an athlete. Sting, Oprah Winfrey, Tiger Woods,
Schwarzenegger,
Stallone, Burt Reynolds, Elvis, Demi Moore, or Demi,
Oprah, Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Reba!
Tiger Woods.
Sorry.
I work too hard.
So the threes are going to be in the news a lot because they're constantly trying to one-up themselves and others. They're trying to win. A lot of these people push themselves. They have a lot of internal drive to where they want to be out there.
Oh, cool. A 3. There's a 3 on here. Literally, Rob Lowe.
Literally?
Right there.
Rob Lowe. Okay, so now we're talking 4s.
4s. These are individualists.
Famous 4s. These are individualists, artists, things like that. You never hear
Bjork. You say Jork?
Jorts. Our boy Nicolas Cage.
Cage. Johnny Depp. Little trouble right now in the news.
Michael Jackson.
Sorry,
what did Johnny Depp do?
Oh, he thinks he's actually getting blacklisted by James Spader. No, that was a joke about
James
blacklist. No, by Hollywood, just for a lot of the inappropriate behavior he has been a part of.
Man, okay. Well, that reminds me, Jewel is on the list.
That good way to recover that
Transition, Jewel, John Malkovich.
Michelangelo was a 4. How do they know?
I know. Cowabunga, dude.
We have
Is that the one they're talking about? Is that Michelangelo?
Absolutely the right
I hope
one.
so. The turtle.
Uh-huh.
Gene Wilder and Oscar Wilde.
Natalie
same
Portman.
person. Natalie. I like Natalie Portman.
I almost said it and I didn't.
What?
I didn't. Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Ah, he's great.
Alan Rickman. He died.
Yeah.
He was Snape.
Yes, he was. Gene Wilder, one of my favorites.
I already said it, but yeah, it's fine. You can repeat me if you want to say it better.
It was great.
Say Oscar Wilde too, because I said them both.
Oscar Wilde is a 4?
Yep, that's
right.
wild. Okay.
How about 5s? Investigators, these are very, very secretive, perceptive, a little bit intense.
Okay, well, we got Tim Burton and Daniel Day-Lewis. I guess we could say it's weird, people.
Yeah.
Is that what the
Well,
theme
that's
is
kind of what we're, you got
Alfred Hitchcock, Stephen Hawking.
Bob De Niro.
Bobby De Niro.
I love in Hollywood when people are doing interviews and they talk about somebody that we all know as Robert De Niro, and they'll say, "Yeah, I was with Bob De Niro."
It's
I was
like,
what?
Stop bragging.
Yeah.
Gosh, don't show off.
Jerks.
You go, oh, I know a palindrome. Like, get out of here, mister. Keanu Reeves, and then the actual character, not the actor, but the character Dexter, who murdered bad guys.
Really?
Yeah.
The character.
Yeah.
He's a 5.
Which he would investigate before he killed him.
I would say intense. Yeah.
Well, no, there was not a lot of camping in that show. Because you said intense.
Intense.
He was in houses and condos most of the time. Okay, let's look at 6s. 6s, the safety security. This would be George H.W. Bush. So I guess he didn't like it when 9/11 hit for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
But also it's like, that's a lot of change.
Dave Letterman.
Larry David. Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, that's the thing. You think of 6s, they like the safety and security. Yeah. Ellen had her show for how many years?
19. Hitler. Safety and security.
Gosh, wow, to bring the mood
he's
down.
In here.
Please don't say he must
him who speak.
He who must
him
not
who
be named.
Use words. Patrick Swayze. Oh, John Turturro. That's a fun name to say.
Yeah, but also
John Turturro just had a churro. John Turturro just had a churro.
I'm going to pass. All right, 7s. I usually try to be the last one to talk because I'm obnoxious, but I won't do it. Pass. Look at 7s. What's a 7 again?
7s are enthusiasts.
So we got Leonardo DiCaprio.
Very distractible, scattered.
Fun-loving.
They love the spotlight. This, if you're in a disc profile, is the I personality.
Yes. Michael J. Fox, Whoopi Goldberg, Steve Jobs, Elton John. I would have thought Steve Jobs would have been an 8, but I guess he did like to wear those turtlenecks and go on stage. So Scorsese, Franklin Roosevelt,
Britney Spears, she just got basically her estate back.
Yeah, and she got sued by one of her employees. I saw that today.
Not good.
Steven Spielberg, a lot of directors, a lot of people you'll see on stage promoting stuff. These are 7s. They're enthusiastic about enthusiasm. Okay, 8s. Here we go. You ready for some 8s?
8s are challengers. Remember, this would be the D on a disc profile.
Yep. So this is Napoleon, Julius Caesar, Sandra Bullock. Okay. Fidel Castro. A lot of world powers here. Winston Churchill. They are always right. Everything is black and white. They are correct on everything. So you could see where they would rise to the top or, get murdered.
Man, there are some tough people on here.
Yeah, they don't play around. 8s don't mess around.
Denzel is an 8.
I did not know that. Russell Crowe. You got, who else? Lyndon Johnson. A lot of the people that won the presidency up in this mug. So they're 8s.
Napoleon just killed everybody else.
Donald Trump, John Wayne, Socrates. He's on here. Frank Sinatra. My oldest son is a big...
Aaron's on here.
Aaron. My oldest son, he's 11. He loves Frank Sinatra. He will
Really?
play. He plays Frank Sinatra all the time.
My daughter loves Frank Sinatra.
Which one?
Plays it all the time.
Not which Frank Sinatra. Which
I was going to
daughter?
say, I don't think that there is more than one. Cassidy.
Cassie. Okay.
Yep.
What's Cassidy on the Enneagram?
We think that she might be a 4.
Okay. Dope. It's the rarest of all.
Oh my gosh.
You get that graded. It's rare.
All right, nines. Peacemaker.
Peacemakers. These people will take on and assimilate the traits of the people they're in the room with. You got Jennifer Aniston. We got David Beckham. You know, a lot of people will bend it.
Like Beckham.
Yeah, that's what they'll do sometimes.
Jeff Bridges.
Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage. That's not the same Johnny
Nope.
Cage. You got Kevin Costner. William Dafoe, which, by the way, has one of the best crazy eye gifts in the game. A lot of people don't talk about that.
He's a little scary to me.
He's a lot of scary to everybody.
Yeah. Hey, rumor has it, Green Goblin.
Is it him, the new Spider-Man?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in an upcoming episode.
No, we won't, because
We will
we're
not.
talking about Spider-Verse.
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but also
Spider-Verse.
not. No.
Oh, that's different.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you. Welcome. Far From Home and
we
Spider-Verse
will.
are different.
We will talk about something else.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tune in, hit that subscribe button, rate us 5 stars, and send us all your money. Okay. Renee Zellweger, classic 9.
Wow.
What was that movie she was in? Bridget Jones's Diary.
Yeah, she was in. There were multiples. Have you seen even more than 30 seconds of Bridget Jones' Diary?
I have not.
I have not either.
Yeah, but I hear great things.
I've heard
Have you?
otherwise. Too long of a pause.
So hot.
I've heard Kevin Spacey. See, think about it. Jerry Seinfeld. I watched him do a stand-up routine one time, and the stand-up routine was great. The best part about it was Q&A at the end. The dude killed. He just figured out the room faster than anybody else could have, and you realize,
nines do.
That's exactly what he does.
Yep, that's what 9s do. They feel the room and then they adapt to whatever the room needs. I bet you a lot of comedians would be good at that.
Yeah, I think you'd have to, or else
Yes.
you're not gonna.
You're not gonna. You're
last
just
long.
gonna keep saying the same thing over and over.
So
Okay.
Are we gonna? Are we doing Will It Rock?
Not until we do 3v3.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna pick our.
We're gonna do an Enneagram draft and then we'll do a cage match and see who would win.
Welcome to the party, pal. This is 3v3.
Okay.
I know you wanted to skip it, but I
Are
wanna
we
talk
picking people that have certain
No.
Enneagrams, or we're picking
picking
Enneagrams?
the Enneagrams. So
Okay.
3 are gonna go unpicked.
Okay.
Do you want to go first? You want me to?
No, you go first.
Okay, deal. I'll pick 3s.
I pick all 3s.
Nope, too late. I already picked them.
No,
So it's a
legitimately,
draft.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
It's a draft.
Well, yeah.
It's a draft. That's how drafts work.
You didn't
Neil.
sign any of them
It's
because
not
you didn't have the
draft.
money.
Too
I was
late.
out working while you were over
Well,
here
my
picking.
salary cap's wide open because you're fired and I'm fired.
I legitimately think 3s get a lot of stuff done.
Yes.
Now, granted, it may be dangerous.
Yes, it could be dangerous because they'll start a bunch of stuff and then nobody's there to maintain it.
Yeah.
That's where
How do you think we got up here on Mount Everest?
I mean,
It's very dangerous.
It's a little bit dangerous.
Yep.
Okay.
I think 3s do get up, but they have potential for to overwork.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or to leave stuff because they find something new. They're one of the negatives they can be like, oh, cool, here's here. And then we'll leave it for a year and a half hiatus and then come back to season 2. So whenever
In my mind, I never left.
here's the deal. Like we talk about drafts, if we talk about these Enneagrams, there's no better or worse. Everybody has
Right,
their
yeah.
strengths and weaknesses. But I will say this, depending on if like you can't have winners unless you're saying this is the goal. And the goal of all these is to be healthy and happy and comfortable in who you are and understand the people you're around. However, if the goal was to, win championships, become president, lead in some way, very often the people you see as the leaders of your organizations are going to be 1s, they're going to be 3s, or they're going to be 8s. 1s, 3s, and 8s are the most common you see. Mostly 3s and 8s. 3s will work themselves to the top. 8s will power themselves to the top with their decision. They don't waffle on different decisions. They lean in and go to the top. So 1s are very good, and they'll often rise to the top whenever they prove that they can, build a good plan, come up and have a clear vision, execute in a 9-month plan. They're the leaders you see that are like, here's our 5-year plans. 8s are going to be the ones that walk in the room and be like, no, yes, no,
Yeah,
no.
keep moving.
And 3s are going to be the ones that are like, all right, let's go build this right now. Come on, everybody. Let's build it
go.
until we have it. And then you hand it off to the 3 hands it off to like a 6 who runs it. And the 3 moves on to something
And
else.
they they figure out where is this unsafe? Where is this not going to work? Where do we need to ensure this? Yeah.
How do we make this a long-term plan?
I think the goal out of all this is, and what helped me going through some of this is knowing how you work with other people. I don't care really as much about me. I want to know, am I going to work well with this person? Not like, hey, if I figure out you're not going to work well, then I'm not going to work with you. But at least it helps me know how to engage so that, this is how they're hearing that.
Yeah.
This is how they're going to respond to that.
Yes.
This is what their fear is. When you know that, it's very helpful.
Yeah. And so like, for instance, when I don't feel strongly about some things, like I'm just like, I don't care. It's whatever you want. I'll kind of go with the room. I'm pretty laid back in like all but 4 areas where I get super hype and obnoxious. But my wife is an 8. We should do Tyler's 4 things. I think we did that. It was called pet peeves. It was not planned. I got aggravated and we did pet peeves. My wife is an 8. And after understanding this and looking into this, it's like 8s don't like indecisive people. So whenever Amanda's like, where do you want to go eat? I'm like, I don't care. It's up to you. And she's like, no, I don't, just pick something. I'm like, it's up to you. I want you to be happy. I'm thinking I'm being kind. She gets frustrated because she's just like, pick something. And now when I do pick something, she's like, I don't care. We can go anywhere you want. I'm like, all right, let's go to tamales. She goes, no, I don't want to go to tamales. There. Exactly. She's very decisive, but she has to hear to know if she's right or wrong in what it is. So a lot of times I'll just be like, for me, it's frustrating. I'll be like, because I want to be right. I'm a 3. I want to be right a lot. And so when I'm like, we want to go here. She's like, no, I don't want to go there. I was like, then why did you ask my opinion? Like, why do you care? So it's just understanding each other in that flow, I think, can be super helpful.
They don't necessarily know. So an 8 doesn't necessarily know exactly what they want to be able to articulate it from a blank canvas. But if you give them a couple of waypoints like, hey, we're going this direction, they will tell you along the way what they like or don't like about it. And that can be frustrating to other personalities. You just have to know how to work back and forth with it. It becomes like a joke almost.
Yes.
Will it rock?
Last segment to bring this home, the exclamation point on every talk about Enneagrams is, will it rock?
The question on everyone's mind, will it rock? The answer is probably yes.
Yes.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, how does he play into this topic? What do you think he is?
If I didn't see the show notes, what would I have thought? I honestly wondered if he would have been a 3.
I thought he was too, because he does so much.
Right. Yeah. He's driven. But then when you really look at, so you want to tell everybody what he actually is?
He's actually a 7, which is the enthusiast with the wing 8. So
it makes sense. So listen to this. It says people with the Enneagram type 7, wing 8 personality, they identify, most of the 7, they tend to be enthusiastic, determined, protective in their behavior. Think about how many times Dwayne Johnson talks about how he only had $7 in his pocket, but he wasn't going to lose. He got into a ring and beat himself up, whatever. They are generally more tough and work-oriented than other 7 types. So he's a 7 that leans toward that opportunist.
Yeah. He's quick to make decisions, and he's also excited about it. Like, that's the thing. I'll say this, of all like the big name celebrities, like people that didn't come from social media into celebrity, but came from celebrity and then filtered into social media.
Yeah.
It's like him and Will Smith are the 2 best at it. And that makes sense because he, as a 7, would want to be enthusiastic about his projects, promote them. It's almost like you get that added benefit, as opposed to if I'm, an artist, which is a 4, and I don't like to be out there. If you hire me to be in your movie, because there were a lot of actors as 4s. If you hire them in your movie, they're not going to be on social media, be like, hey guys, what's up? Welcome. Come see my movie. They're just going to go in and be in your movie and then go to the next thing because they don't want to. Like, they're going to be Jesse Eisenberg and they're going to disappear in the middle of Wyoming or something. So
what's out there?
I think, doesn't he live out there?
Kanye does. I think.
Does he really?
I think he does.
I thought he was Montana. No, he bought a bunch of land in Wyoming. That's right.
That is Wyoming.
Kanye. We should explain Kanye. I'm just kidding. We already have.
We really should. What's interesting is like you watch different interviews with actors, and there are some. So I would say Dwayne Johnson does the press junket better than anybody.
Oh yeah, he runs
because he is like super excited about it. Although I will say, if you've ever watched any of the press junkets with Dwayne Johnson, with Jack Black and Kevin Hart, those are gold.
Yeah,
the 3 of them
is incredible.
Are I would say magical.
No, what?
But they what happens is you get some of these other actors who are out there, they don't even remember what movie they're talking about when they're on the late night talk show circuit. They're very like detached from it. They don't really care. I just want to go with my trailer. Where's my turkey bacon? Even
Where's
though
my
it's not real.
I was saying egg whites only. Tammy. Tammy. All right. Well, that's it. That's everything you would
Enneagrams.
ever need to know.
That
about
really is.
Enneagrams.
Seriously, that's what you need to know. There's books out there. There are Instagram accounts entirely devoted to posting different things about, hey, this is for all you Enneagram 7s out there.
Yep.
And I would just say go do some more research if you want to.
There's
Don't ask
one.
us. We told you everything we know.
We know we're out. We're outies. Actually, I do a presentation at certain conferences and for different schools. It's a training called Enneagrams in Education. And so what I do is I talk about it from the perspective of how teachers can realize what they are and what, motivates them and how they run, but then also what their boss is, what their coworkers are, and then especially what their students are. And so it's like,
That's
if
huge.
you understand this well, you can put students into different groups and kind of build groups that have all the traits you would want in a group all together, or
Working
maybe
together.
pair them up in the same numbers so that they're not frustrated because they're doing, like, the 3 is doing all the work.
Right.
The 8 is just sitting there spouting off orders, and the 4 is like hoping nobody calls on them. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
So that's
Like
cool.
it would help you teach better, knowing how they learn.
A book, if you want a book recommendation, it's called The Road Back to You. Ian Morgan Cash, something like that. I don't know. That's the name. Who cares? Just search I care. He's super.
He's great.
But The Road Back to You is a book that I recommend. It's a good book if you want to learn more about this. And there's a ton of podcasts because Neil already said that. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Explain Everything podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Explain Everything Podcast. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you're already here. We love you. No, actually, we're in love with you. Thanks for coming on our TED Talk. Bye.